Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today, and that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And, you know, on our end, we didn't...
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, wow. Why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to do that to somebody who's, like, that big.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all well. Today we've got Nicole Kessinger part 4. What goodies has she got for us today? I hear you all are. You are going to see the fastest recovery from an emotional breakdown since Jessie Smollett. You're going to see 7 emotions in 7 seconds. Probably for the 7 personalities that she's got. You're going to see crocodile tears, the lot. This is mental what happened in that 8 weeks. Now, she says that he was a bit clingy. Can't get off scot-free. She was looking at wedding dresses at one point. So who's the clingy one? I don't know about you, but she seems to me as if to be the type, whereas if she was seeing Chris, to look up who Shanann was. I just don't think that she didn't know nothing about it. She must have known. We know she was looking at wedding dresses amongst Googling other things. We all know she was Googling how to prepare... Was it how to prepare a meal? How to prepare for something? I can't remember what it was now. It was how to prepare for something. Anyway, moving on. YouTube guidelines and all that. She says that from talking to Chris now, she doesn't know what's a lie and what's the truth. I think we figured that one out, love. The officer does imply Chris was very, very into her, which I suppose he was. Looking for accommodation. Looking at wedding dresses, so they're both to blame. She's concerned that she's going to struggle to go out in public and that she didn't know. Well, you knew he was married. The other thing I picked up on, she says it doesn't really matter if Shanann was there about Chris's phone calls. So she's implying it didn't make a difference, so he wouldn't, like, by limiting the number of calls. I'm sure he didn't do it in front of her, but I suppose he'd go the other end of the house. They had a big house, but it doesn't seem to me he was concerned at all about Shanann, which says a couple of things to me. Probably too wrapped up in that Lavelle stuff to even notice who he's on the phone to. I think that was part of the problem. Or she doesn't care, which we know is not true. Or she's just not around much. And being busy trying to sell stuff to the Lavelle customers. Don't get me started on MLMs, predatory business practices. And most of the time, it's vulnerable people that they go after. So, bad fish in a shitty pond. Anyway, I digress. I've lost my list of top commenters. Can't move a load of lights and a couple of massive dogs out the way because the dogs won't let me get back on my seat. They'll want to go out. I do apologize. Okay, so should be 2 more parts to go after this. I've also looked into some merch. I'm going to do a couple of little things. Maybe a mug, maybe a huggy. A huggy? What the hell's a huggy? You want to buy a huggy off me? All right. Let's get into the video.
Can you describe your relationship?
I mean, when he was with me, I considered it to be fairly healthy. It was open communication. And it was what I thought was honest. And it was very calm. It was respectful. We got along really well. He gave me my space when I needed it. I gave him his. And anytime, like, he wanted to take care of it, like, anytime that his kids could be in, like, his life for hours or days or whatever, whenever they were home, I made sure that I wasn't a presence in his life so that he could be the best dad that he needed to be. And I mean, I thought what we had, it was very comfortable for me. I enjoyed it. I think he did very much as well.
You guys, 6, 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys had an intimate relationship during that time.
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Okay. Notwithstanding that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like, I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him, because it was just all very new to me. And I was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife and he told me he loved me. And I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just feel like,
Almost like an insecurity where you had to say that to you? Or?
I don't know. I think he like, looking back at all this now, I don't think he was trying to fix things with her. So saying, I love you to me seemed like probably something that he genuinely meant. Like, I love this woman. And regardless of where he was going to end up that night. But to me, in the way that I was perceiving things, he had told me that he was trying to fix things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but
Okay.
like the later ones.
And
Thank you.
when you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it.
Yes, I just didn't say it as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still like very, very new. So I kind of like took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is a really important moment.
So you got, I mean, in the short period of time that you guys were together, he
Yes.
became very attached to you.
Yes. Very, very
I mean, he's
attached.
sending cards.
Flowers.
He's telling you he loves you. He sends you flowers. Does he buy you any other gifts?
Nope. I wouldn't have wanted them anyways. Flowers is enough. You can't. I don't need expensive stuff.
But he becomes very attached to you.
Yes.
You guys are talking multiple times a day, at least. You're
All the time.
You're seeing each other on a regular basis. Yep. So it's a very, and his wife is not around, nor are his children. So there's a lot of time for you guys to build your relationship in this first four weeks or so. Is that fair?
Yeah. And even when she was back, I mean, it was still like we were still spending time together. He was still spending time with his children, and I had my own life. Like, I mean, there was 1 week where I just like went out of town with my friends for my birthday. I wasn't even around the whole like last few days of June up until the 3rd of July. I was like gone, you know. And then there was another like last weekend. I had a friend impromptu come in town from out of state, and I hosted her for a few days. And it's like I still did my own thing all the time. Like, whether he was there or not, like, if my friends were like, hey, we want to make plans, I would tell them, like, we're not hanging out today because I want to go see my mom or my dad.
Did your friends know about him?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's like he's with 2 women right now. They don't need to know about
So if you had a boyfriend of 4 to 8 weeks on a regular... I don't know if you were married prior or if you had a boyfriend before, but if you had a steady boyfriend, you would have let people know. I think you told me before we got started that you just told your dad about Chris recently.
I wouldn't have told people. It's too early. I mean, people...
So you don't tell your friends, hey, I got a boyfriend?
People come and go. I mean, dating scene these days is like, it sucks. I mean, so no, I wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be something, even with Sean. I think I was with Sean for probably like 6 or 7 months before I brought him home to my family. I mean, I really, same with, that was the guy I was in a previous relationship with, but this one you were a little bit more, you said he's with 2 women. Was that one of your considerations for not telling anybody about him? Yes. Well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this, to me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were like dating for like 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out and I'm going to sell the house. I think at that point, I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really like doing these things you say you're going to do. And I probably would have just like left, because at that point, it's not fair. It wasn't fair to me in the first place. It wasn't fair to her in the first place. It wasn't fair to any of us in the first place. You know, it wasn't fair to his family for him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I don't even know if they were like filing for divorce. I don't know if they were putting the house up. I don't even know anymore what is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, you know, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is going to affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm going to wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore. And it breaks my heart. It is so, oh my God. And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. And I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know, and people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, all those little girls, they're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we cannot provide that.
Okay.
At really no cost.
One more thing. We just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to pound it down.
Hey, I'm sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today. And that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And, you know, on our end, we didn't.
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to do that to somebody who's, like, that big.
Do you want to step out for a minute?
No, I just isn't sure with my eyes closed for a sec. Oh. I still cannot believe this is happening. Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to like the meat of this whole situation.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So, Sunday, I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had a meal, a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. I honestly, we talk about so much random stuff. It's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation though. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is where I'm starting to remember little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation, I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was right before we got off the phone, I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's no TV downstairs. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know.
No TV in the basement where he usually calls you from.
Yeah. And I don't know how many TVs they have. I've never been in their bedroom. I went upstairs once and it was to their little playroom. And I just looked at it and I was like, that's super cute that your girls have books. And that was it. And other than that, I have never been in any of those rooms in that upstairs. To me, it was just you don't know, ever. I had no, so I don't know if he has any other TVs. I'm assuming by how much other nice stuff they have in their house, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not quite sure what room he was in at that point. But I just remember hearing the TV and I was like, it was just weird to me because I was like, why are you watching TV right now? It is super late. And that was the only thing.
And he had phoned you? Or were you guys already talking when the TV was going? Or
I just remember I picked up on it later, but I don't think it was throughout the whole conversation.
Okay.
I just remember it being towards the end because I remember thinking wow, it's really late.
Something I didn't ask you about the house because you'd been there twice, and it just made me remember. Do you remember how you guys accessed the house?
That's a good question. So once through the garage, and I think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, I think. And I think the second time was through the garage.
Was there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house? Might not be typical of another house.
The unique door?
Not the door itself.
On their door.
Okay, there's a camera on the, which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No. He did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we go through the garage? I don't remember. I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once, though, because I remember he had just cleaned, it was the first time I went through his front door, because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, the door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back when the carpet dries. So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage, because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself.
He was at,
he took you there.
The first time he was already there,
okay,
and I met up with him. And the second time we went there together.
So the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So there's those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. He let me in that day.
So he never gave you the code to access his home?
No. Okay. Not at all.
You talked about a security system. There was a camera on the front door. Was that just what a Ring doorbell is that goes to your phone?
I don't even know what it looked like. I only know that it existed either because A, I wasn't paying attention the first time I was over there, but B, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. That's the only reason I know it
Did you remember seeing any cameras anywhere in the house?
No.
Okay. Did he ever tell you about the alarm system or give you an access code to the alarm system?
No. I wouldn't have asked for that. I wouldn't have wanted that anyways.
Sorry to regress to that.
No, you're okay.
Go back to the phone call, or where you noticed the television in the background of the phone call.
Yeah. So I didn't know what room he was in, but I was just I just thought it was weird because he's always like, before I go to bed and I lay down, he's always like kind of trying to do the same thing. We just talk. It's like a really chill thing till one of us is about to pass out, and then that's like the end of it. But it was strange because I was like, the TV's on. I don't know where I was thinking. I was like, maybe he's waiting up for her. And then I was like, maybe not. I didn't know. It wasn't something that like alerted me. It was just different from his standard operating procedure. Because whether his wife is home or she's gone, he's always got kind of like the standard op when he calls me. So that's why it was kind of like unique.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really fluctuate when she's there and when she's not there. He's pretty like free reign with what he does.
Mm-hmm. So anything important that you recall during that conversation about the children, about his wife, about what he was doing the next day, what he had planned, anything like that? No. Did he tell you any of that information?
I remember he told me he had to go to the field and not to the office on Monday morning.
Okay. Did he specifically say where he needed to go on Monday morning?
No, I don't ask him for those sites. There's like, Anadarko's got like thousands of sites. If he were to tell me, I wouldn't even
They're just like random numbers and stuff, right?
Well, he told me, he said, I got to go to a site. I got to go check out like a valve or something where they think that they had a release. Something like that.
Did he mention the town or anywhere?
No. He just told me that that's what he had to go do. He's like, he was like, I won't see you in the office in the morning. Because I see him, but I don't actually like talk to him. Like I will go in the cafeteria, I will put my lunch in the fridge, and him and his whole team are sitting in there, and I don't talk to any of them. I just walk out. But anyways, yeah, he's like, so I won't see you. I'm going to the field, which is not an uncommon thing for the ops guys to like just go straight to the field. Like it happens. Like typically they go to the office, I would say like 3 or 4 days a week, but there are days where him and his other team members are not there. Or like I'll get in there and some days the cafeteria is packed and they're all there. Okay. And other days I get in there and there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
So it didn't cause you any concern that he said, I'm going to the field on Monday, I won't see you. That wasn't...
No.
That's happened before.
Yeah. I mean, It wasn't something, and it's not just him. It's like that whole team. Like you can just tell when they've got like a lot going on because I'll walk in and there'll be like 2 of them as opposed to like 6 or 7.
Do you know what he did Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday. I hung out with him Saturday. And then Sunday...
When did Jim come in?
Monday. Jim got here Monday. What did I do on Sunday? I'm like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Did you guys have any conversations on Saturday night during your meal, what he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Did you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. It's like some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but I went to
the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So this one is like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very memorable event, huh?
Me and him and my stepmother and my sister went to the museum, and that's museum? Right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's what we did Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then.
When did he tell you about the water balloon fight on Sunday evening during your conversation on the phone?
I think so.
Okay. So you don't know whose house he went to on Sunday?
No.
But you knew it was for a child's birthday?
Yeah, and he had told me about that in advance, really. So I don't know if it was Saturday that he had told me that he was going to go that birthday or like Friday. I just remember he was like, I got to go to this birthday party with my kids.
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things that I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
But in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
it probably
That's fine.
wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on Sunday.
We're
gonna get to
this is gonna be a long.
We're gonna get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night or Sunday during the day, you had your own personal stuff going on with your family. You never see him on Sunday. Is that accurate?
No, I didn't see him. What did I do the rest of the day? I came home. I think I might have just chilled at my house. I don't remember. I think I cleaned my house. I don't know. I didn't see him though.
Okay. And
Yeah, Saturday was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Sunday, you're at home. You talk to him we know you have a conversation in the late evening hours, and then you go to sleep on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
When's the next time you talk with Chris?
Probably Monday morning.
Do you know what time?
No, I mean, so we used to like randomly text each other like throughout the day, but we both get really busy. So some days like I don't hear a lot from him, and some days I don't text him until like 2:00 in the afternoon because I'm just like busy. And I remember I didn't hear a lot from him that day, which was like, that's not out of the normal for either one of us during the day. But at one point, I do remember he like texted me and he's like, oh, it's been a really busy day. And then like said some other stuff, which I'm sure you will find in my text. What he said, I don't know. It wasn't obviously anything that was like alerting to me. But that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I remember really key things, but if it's like a conversation that I'm like, I don't remember exactly what was discussed, it's because it was probably just bullshit. Like just talking to each other. Yeah.
Small talk stuff.
Yeah. But I remember he was busy that day, and we didn't talk that much. And then I clocked out at 3 is what my time card says. That's what I was showing Mark the other day. And I got home to go meet my buddy. One of my good friends was coming over to my house, and he actually has the key to my house, so he was actually there when I got there. And
who's that?
My friend Jim. And so Jim came over. And I got home, he was there, he had like just walked in the door, and I remember like briefly after he got there, I checked my texts. I mean, briefly after I met up with Jim, I like glanced at my texts, and Chris said something about like, my family's not home, or like my wife and kids aren't home, like something to that effect. And I told Mark, because he asked me for a time, and I don't have an exact time, but I remember it was like right after I walked.
That was a text message, though.
Yeah, it's in a text, and it was like briefly after I walked in the door. So based off how long it takes me to get home from work and when I clocked out, it's probably about 3:45 p.m. Texts me and tells me that, and like he knows when I get off of work too, so he doesn't always bug me if I'm busy. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's when he sends that to me. And
so you're saying that he would have known that you would have had your phone available to you and not been at work when he sent you that text message?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
So looking back at it, you think it was purposefully sent at that time?
I'm sure.
I'm just asking your feeling on that.
Yes, and then he said, call me when you can. And
there was no other communication between you and him that morning, on Monday morning?
Well, there was, but it was like random.
But nothing about this event.
No.
About like my wife's missing, or
no,
anything.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And you knew he wasn't coming to the office because he had told you that Sunday night.
Yeah, and then he goes, and so like they're only in the office for the morning. Like right. Some days it's longer than others, but I would say by a maximum of 7:30 every single morning they're all gone, and they don't come back unless they have like a meeting or something that they have to attend. So like not seeing him for the rest of the day is not like an unnormal thing. Okay. But like I'm saying, like we don't really. The only reason we interact was kind of like by an off chance thing. Like I don't work with him. Mm-hmm. So he, we talked like randomly throughout the day, but it was really sporadic, and he seemed pretty busy, so we didn't talk too much. Like I said, didn't put too much thought into it. It happens all the time. Waited till about 3:45, then sent that text to me, and yes, he does know that I will be home at that point. Or getting home.
Did you give Mark Jim's information?
No, I would really not like to involve him in this. Okay. He does not know about this. He was not like, he doesn't know any of this is occurring.
Okay.
Like, I was
So
literally...
he knows, certainly through the media, that something's occurred.
Yeah, he's
with
like
Chris.
out of town. He's probably has
Okay.
no idea. He doesn't know who Chris is. Like, he's not... I do not know.
So he's just a friend of yours.
Yes.
He does not was coming to your apartment and doesn't know anything about Chris. Does he know anything about Chris?
No, nothing. Absolutely not.
We've known Jim for
years
and years.
You're not dating him or anything like that?
No, he's like one of my very good friends. Like, my dad knows him. He's a great guy. He works out of state a lot, so when he's in town, we hang out. But when he's in town and he's off of work, to save time, so I give him the key to my house, one, because I trust him and he's one of my best friends, and two, because sometimes he will just meet me there, because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting off of work, and then if I get stuck in traffic or something, he ends up like sitting outside of my apartment waiting for me to get off of work. So I'm like, here's a key, and like my dog loves him and stuff. So no, he's not.
So he's just a family friend.
Yes, I don't.
The only reason I asked, and I'm not really concerned about your location. I think we already have your cell phone records. At some point, did Mark ask you to supply? Did they ask for consent to get cell phone records? That'll probably be done by warrant. If we wanted,
what you just did?
Nope. What I'm talking about is your movement.
Oh.
By GPS or by cell phone tower to show where you were. Obviously, and I don't want to cause you concern. We want to know where you were that day too. You're dating a man who did some egregious stuff, and we want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you can track my...
No, yeah, I mean, that was something we will have to get a warrant for anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any objections to that?
No, you can have it.
So...
I'm a pretty boring person.
Well, it sounds like you just went to work that day, and then you came home, and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, like give or take like 5 minutes. But yeah, so 3:45... I meet Jim there. Yeah.
And so Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45. Done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin. Or Jim. And I'm not saying you have to go through this.
Leave Jim alone.
If at some point I needed Jim's info to, let's say we couldn't find your phone records. Would you tell me who Jim was?
I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was if I couldn't?
If you had to. Okay. I don't really want to involve him in this. That's not fair to him. That's not... No. If I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so anyways, Chris was like, call me.
And this is the 3:45 text.
Yeah, he sent me like a few. I think there was 3 of them, and I don't remember what the other one said, but something about like, yeah, my family's gone, or... I don't remember verbatim, but call me when you can, or call me when you have a chance. Something to that effect. And so when he told me call me, I was like kind of alerted, where I was like, okay, what's going on, you know? But first when he told me like his family was like not home, that didn't really seem odd to me that his family wasn't home. It was really vague. I'm like, okay, like, are they at the grocery store? Like, elaborate. And so, you know, but he says, call me like it's like an emergency, but then just says that they're not there. And so I'm like really like floored by that. Well, not like floored, but just kind of like, he says, call me. So I'm concerned. And then he's really vague. So I'm like, maybe he just wants to talk to me. I don't know. I think it took me a little while to like really process the severity of the situation, just because this is not something that you expect to see every day. And the way that he talked to me made me believe that this is not what was going on at all.
Okay, so you make a phone call to him and you guys have a conversation.
I did. I stepped outside.
This is 3:45.
Ish. I mean, well, like, I think I actually interacted with Jim for like probably a good 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, he's my guest. He's in my house. So I don't think I called him right away. But like, I mean, I'm trying to balance the fact that I have my friend here, and then Chris is saying that something needs to be addressed. But to me, it didn't sound like an emergency. I mean, it's all the time. Like, people aren't home right now. You know, so it wasn't like, oh my God, I have to take this call.
It didn't register as being...
No. I mean, it was the way he said it. And I was like, okay. So I remember hanging out with Jim for a while, and then I stepped outside and I made a call, like out on my back patio, and I called him. He didn't answer the phone. And then he texted me back. Or no. Did he answer the phone? I don't remember. I think he missed my call and then he called me back. Or he just answered. Either way, it was a very short talk to him where he was just like, I have to go. The cops are here. And I don't remember if he said that on the phone or over text. I'm so tired.
That's fine. You don't.
But either way, like,
it's
the
just
cops,
the context.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will figure it out. The cops are here. And I'm just like, all right. And then I remember we were we were texting, but I was like hanging out with my company. So it wasn't like a nonstop text. It was just kind of like I would check my phone every once in a while and we would communicate with each other. And he was just saying like they weren't there and that her friend Nikki was there and that her friend Nikki had called the cops. And I'm like, why would this girl call the cops? And like, I honestly do not remember the order of operations on all of this, but I'm pretty sure the majority of our conversation that night until my friend Jim left the house, which was probably pretty late, I don't even know what time, like 9 or 10, was all via text. So you should have this via text. Like, okay. I don't think we started talking again on the phone until, like, after my company left. And he was like, I don't know, he just started, like, giving me details about stuff, and I don't remember what order, but he was saying, like, Nikki was really upset, and that the cops were there, and that they were, like, searching the house, and I was just like, what? You know, like, what? Why? And he was telling me that, they had, like, had a disagreement or something like that, and then, he told me, like, she was gonna go to a friend's house, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she left. You know, maybe she just, like, went to her friends. And then I think I don't remember, but I think he was the one that told me that her cell phone and her purse were still there. I think he told me that.
He told you her cell phone and purse were still there?
I think he did. I don't remember.
What's the significance of that in your mind at that time?
At that point, I thought this woman was really trying to get out of this house.
Okay.
That's what I thought, because he said that they'd had a disagreement, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I leave my cell phone at home.
When he said disagreement, what did he tell you what it was about, or?
Not at that point. Not at that point. So, again, like, you guys are going to have to check these texts, because it's all, like, my brain feels like mashed potato right now. But I remember him saying that, and I'm just thinking, like, well, maybe she was in a rush, you know? Like, maybe she was just like, I'm going to my friends. I'm leaving my cell phone here because I don't want you calling me. I don't want anyone else calling me. I mean, there are days where, like, when I'm outside of work, I will just shut my phone off. I just do it. And it's, like, my way of getting peace. So to me, that, I mean, like, it was weird that it wasn't even that weird to me that she left her phone just because I leave my phone, but it was weird to me that she left her purse. But knowing the fact that that girl was, like, always on her phone, then, yeah, I guess it is kind of odd.
Like, she lived on her phone, I think, pretty much, is my understanding of her and a phone. So, I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Until prior to the media stuff, or just from Chris.
I did.
So, did that strike you as odd? But you're thinking maybe she just left.
I just thought she needed to, like, get away from the situation. I mean, that didn't seem that awkward to me that a couple that is going through separation would be like, I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even, like, process. I was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know? And, on that note, too, when he was we're going to jump back for just a second.
Okay.
I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're going to get a divorce and we're going to put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were, like, going to put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like a sealed deal.
Okay.
And the reason that is of significance is because at some point over the weekend, I don't remember when, he told me that they were putting the house up. I don't know if it was they were putting it up on Monday, like the day they went missing, or if it was that they were calling the realtor to verify some stuff so they could put it up that week. Like, I don't quite remember. I just remember, like, the house, which was supposed to be, like, on the market, like, that week.
Did he name a realtor ever?
Yeah, he did, and I don't remember her name. It was a female.
Okay.
And I don't remember her name, like at all. I was trying to think of that for you guys not too long
Is
ago.
that a company? Do you got the company name?
No, he never gave me that. He like gave me her name, and it was the same name twice. He gave it to me once when he was in North Carolina, and then once the other time. Because I remember asking, I was like, "Who's that?" Because he's like, "I'm gonna have to have her call so and so today and make sure everything's still good to go." And I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "The realtor." It's like, oh, or not today, but like
if it ever comes to your
Monday.
mind, just
Yeah, I
Yeah,
doubt
there's
it. That
one
was
you
such
call.
a.
Yeah.
I will try. I don't
lots of
remember
names.
what it was.
It's fine. It's not that critical. That person may come forward to us anyways.
That is today's video. I hope you all enjoyed that one. I'm off to go and work on part 5 and part 6. Leave your comments down below like you always do. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support the channel, go to the bio. Thank you very much and good night. Remember, don't have nightmares. Bum bum ba-dum, bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Look alright. Yeah. Had a few technical issues. It's all good now though. My hard drive's more full up than. Welcome back. You're gonna see the fastest emotional fucking hell. You're gonna see. Edit that one back in. Goodbye, Huggy.